Brace yourselves, boys. We're going in.
Am I hallucinating here? Just what in the hell do you think you are doing?
I'm not reading. I'm just looking at the picture. Welcome to the cold, hard truth on sports.
Welcome all to a new week here of the cold, hard truth on sports here on the GoLong Media channel on blogtalkradio.com. You know, it's funny that we're hearing this stuff in the news like it's news. But those who listen in here to the cold, hard truth should have already heard this stuff. It's recycled news. Kyrie Irving wants a trade. Yeah. I mean, just like he did 3 years ago. Yeah, they were dysfunctional as shit then. It hasn't changed. The ownership didn't change. When you have a GM that there are several teams in the league they're very interested in, and the Magic was interested in paying him to the tune of shy of $30 million. It was shy of $30 million, from what my sources say. It wasn't $30 million. It was a lot, but it was headed towards the $30 million mark. What they were offering him, and he passed that up to go for a portion of that to Cleveland because they just signed Kyrie. And the ownership tells him he wants LeBron to come back, and there's kind of some thought there. Kyrie had no idea LeBron was coming back. I think a big part of LeBron didn't have an idea that LeBron was going back. So when Stephen A. Smith says Kyrie Irving never wanted LeBron to come back to Cleveland, take him for his word. Because I've heard exactly the same thing from several sources myself. He said over 50 sources over the weekend he talked to. I don't know if any of our sources crossed. I don't know. I haven't talked to the guy. Ever. But what I can tell you is the information he's getting and the information that I've had for a while is pretty congruent. Kyrie Irving wanting out of Cleveland. I don't get it. Why are people shocked? The prodigal son of Cleveland from Akron, you know, left. The guy that was heralded as, has been heralded as, and put on a pedestal since he was in high school as the next coming. And by the way, he's done about as much as you could do to fit that bill. I'm not going to argue with that. Top 10 greatest all time. Definitely can't argue that. Probably the best all-around player in NBA history. Can't argue that. But to sit back and say that somehow it's shocking that a star wants to leave Cleveland, it's not. It's shocking when a star wants to go to Cleveland. They got Kemp at the end of his career. He got him into the playoffs, but to lose to the Knicks or the Pacers. Yeah, I think it was the Pacers, because the Pacers end up facing the Bulls. So It's besides LeBron, and again, LeBron's from there. That's why LeBron went back. You know, he had a lot more marketability there. He had stretch there. He's from there. He went and got titles, and from his letter, he felt like he owed it to go back to his hometown and bring them a title. And he did. Kyrie had a big part to do that, even though it, the year before he was hurt. Kevin Love had been hurt. There's been some injuries that really had stopped or slowed some of that progress down. But the thing is, Kyrie Irving is one of the top players in the NBA. He's a star, not a superstar. And the only way he can ever find out if he can be a superstar, is to be away from LeBron James. He didn't want to be in Cleveland before LeBron came. He signed his extension. And let me address that, because I'm seeing right down here in the feed, I'm already seeing people. If he wanted out before, he signed a contract, why did he stay? Basically, if you make it to the end of your rookie deal in the NBA with the team that drafted you, you sign the next contract. Some guys do maxes, which is a 5-year contract for, at that time, 30% of the cap. By the way, Kyrie Irving took a discount. 27.5% is what he ended up taking. He could take the full 30% if he had been the MVP of the All-Star game or a starter in the All-Star game or MVP of the league. He could get the full 30% of the salary cap, which he was the MVP of the All-Star game. So he qualified for that, but took 27.5%. So you can't tell me that it's news. You can't tell me that he hasn't tried to make things work there. You can't go in those directions and really want to lead anybody to believe that those are factual. Your account, but by actuality. Because if you're saying those things, don't have what you're talking about truly. And it's probably because you haven't done your research or had the right information or access to the right information. That, again, I'm ready for that. Not everybody gets access to the same information all the time. But to say that he didn't try to make it work, or again, because that second contract, after your rookie deal, that's basically set your family up for generations money, is what they kind of call it. So it's going to be your first opportunity to make the most money of your life ever, as far as a contract in your sport. He has to take that opportunity. Again, he did sign the 5 years. He didn't have trade clauses. Working on Rob Parks Jr. Rob Parks Jr. is going to join us here at the top of the hour. Just trying to. All right, here we go. getting the phone systems. All right, we're good. We're good. All right. So let me reset this here real quick. Taking care of some stuff here. I'm doing the producing and the showing. So sometimes producing cuts off the showing. So I'm on the Kyrie Irving topic. Again, for those of you crawled from under a rock, haven't been paying attention, came back from a vacation or waking up from a hangover from a 3-city birthday tour. It's like some people. The end of last week, Kyrie Irving made it more forcefully known that he wanted to be traded. This was massively breaking news to everybody in the media because clearly nobody pays attention to basketball, the NBA. But we know they don't pay attention to the NCAA until like February or during the conference tournaments. But anyways, the NBA. Again, this happened after Christmas, folks, when everybody's like, okay, now it's okay to watch the NBA. That's okay to really pay attention to the NBA. Christmas is over. That Laker game on Christmas Day is the beginning of the NBA season for majority of the viewers. So, as I'm over here, I got a few people that wanted me to do Facebook Live. I'll do Facebook Live at the end of the show. But right now, I'm over on YouTube at Matt Long Sports and at the CHT on Sports. The Hangout is actually on Matt Long Sports. So go over there. You'll see the live feed. You can watch it there. See me in my home studio. Also, it's available over on the Spreaker app. It's like speaker with an R. I don't have a lisp. There's an R in it. Spreaker. It'll be available on SoundCloud this evening following the show. So look out for it there. And as always, on blogtalkradio.com on the GoLong Media channel. Okay. Rob Park's going to join me here in about 10 minutes, barring any confusion with dialing. But news is breaking that Kyrie Irving wants a trade. This is not new news. This is recycled news, as I call it. Not fake news. It's recycled news. It was news 3 years ago because it was building up. In 2013, 2014, this was real news. And people were learning, hey, Kyrie doesn't want to be there anymore. It's dysfunctional. You know, he's not working well with Dion Waiters. Dion Waiters got traded as LeBron was getting set up to come to town to clear cap space. They sent him to OKC and sent J.R. Smith to the Cavs, and then they got some non-guaranteed contract guys in New York, which didn't work out. I'm not even going to bring up their names. You wouldn't know who they were. So I will. I'm not even going to bring them up. So that's what happened during the trade. So they kind of butted heads. Dion Waiters did well in OKC, and then he done even better down in Miami. Got a big contract. Congrats to Waiters. Tremendous talent, by the way. But they had to clear space. They weren't working together, and Griff understood that he had to get pieces moved around. They should have been able to work well together and should be able to make more of this situation than was, but they weren't. So, and Kyrie's come out and admitted that he was less open. He was a bit more immature. Again, you're 21 in the NBA. You'd expect that. He's grown up a lot over the last 3 years. And he has 2 years remaining on this contract. He signed the max deal, the 5 years, and he got 27.5% of the salary cap. He's stuck it out for 3 years. He's gotten a title out of it. He's been in three straight finals. So he's got a good look at it. But Griff is gone. And from a lot of people I've talked to that were close there, he was good to players, good to writers, supporting staff, stuff like that. Was always trying to better situations. And he basically got shafted. He said, hey, listen, it's time for me to look at my contract. It's up. And I need, and this is 3 straight finals, a title, got LeBron signed. We got Kyrie signed. We brought in Kevin Love. We've orchestrated this, that, the other thing. People don't want to give him credit for it. People want to give LeBron credit for it. But sometimes, even though LeBron may have an extremely high amount of influence coming in, they've won the title. That's just the thing is about titles. You win titles, that money kind of hangs around for a little bit, whether LeBron does or not. So now a lot of people are thinking it's a foregone conclusion that he's leaving. I'm not entirely certain of that will happen, but it's kind of, that's what the reports are, that LeBron's going to go to the Lakers. That's fine with me. Lakers fans, any argument? No? Okay. You'll take whatever you get, right? Yeah. You get what you get and don't throw a fit. Is that how it goes? Yeah. It's the old adage. But now he comes out this last week saying that he doesn't have any plans to opt out after this next season. So we'll see. He's not going to tell somebody what he's going to do anyways. Not like that. Whether he leaves or he doesn't leave, it's going to be interesting to watch. Now, Kyrie, when LeBron decided to come back, Kyrie didn't know he was coming back. What Kyrie knew is he just signed a fat 5-year deal for 27.5% of the salary cap, making him the man. Not waiters, him. He's the man. He's their guy. He's the face of their franchise. And he was the spotlight. The spotlight was on him. And he got a new GM that people liked, got a new coach that was very heralded, has won a lot of champions over in Europe. And they were going to he was looking forward to doing something. A lot of people saw it along the lines of what the Spurs had. Something where they're going to build a team. It's going to be their year in and year out. And he's a bigger, stronger version of what Tony Parker could ever think of being. Right? And they're going to build pieces around him. That sounds awesome. And he was excited for that. He was working on his development, and he was coming along. Obviously, that year he was the MVP of the All-Star game. And then they get it all hashed out. I think it was right there in the first quarter of the year, hashed out by June. I think it was June 1st they had hashed out his contract, announced it on June 10th. They realized they could. They both tweeted it out. So, because he was going to go play with the U.S. team. And people were excited. He was excited. But He stayed there even though he wanted to get moved because of dysfunction. They bring in a new GM, makes him happy. They're looking at a new coach, makes him happy. He's got a fat contract, makes him happy. They're supposed to be making moves, makes him happy. J.R. Smith, that's nice. But, and that's where they got they got one other guy from New York. I'll get it for you here in a minute. Shumpert. They got Shumpert too. So it's like, okay, now we're getting some people around us. So it's looking up for him and his team. Then LeBron decides to come back. They had drafted Anthony Wiggins. He was excited about. Now LeBron is coming back, but Wiggins is gone. Bennett's gone. Waiters is gone. They're making these moves to not just clear space for LeBron, but LeBron is essentially dictating who's on the team. And now, what has that done? He wanted to be traded before. You could kind of say he felt lied to. LeBron comes in, blindsided by that. Now what? Now his opportunity to become a superstar gets cut short. Opportunity to play with LeBron James. All right, cool. Let's see how this works. Well, LeBron wants Kevin Love. He wants Kevin Love. He needs more. They move some pieces around. Wiggins gone. They get Kevin Love. And, okay, let's see how this works. Through this whole process, you think about it. The first round pick after LeBron James leaves. The general management changes, the coaching changes just over the first 4 years of his career. He's on his third coach. By the time LeBron gets back, he's on his third coach, third or fourth GM. Dan Gilbert acting like he is the GM too. And it's just when you step back and look at it, and that's what I did. This is why I've been saying for a long time now that the Cavs need to be careful how they continue to treat Kyrie because they're going to lose him too. Everybody's been focused on LeBron. Let me tell you this. LeBron's closer to the end of his career than Kyrie is. Just let that sit for a second. Maybe Kyrie will never be what LeBron James is to the NBA or to any team. But what he is he is one of the best players that you've drafted in recent history. Outside of LeBron James, that you drafted and played for you. Because they've drafted several guys that have been good, had good quality NBA careers, but they've traded him away. So, they haven't got to reap the benefits of him. But outside LeBron, he's basically the best in recent history. But they've treated him, especially since LeBron came back, second class. When LeBron left, he dealt with, for that his rookie deal, he dealt with everything LeBron dealt with, not having a coach, not having a GM, not having players around him, not getting necessarily the support he needed. I mean, they brought Luol Deng in. But who hasn't brought Luol Deng in? At this point, I think every team in the league has taken a card on Luol Deng. And almost Jamal Crawford. It's crazy. So, what he's been going through and what he's been dealing with, people should just step back. Don't make light of it. And this is what I was been hitting on. I said it on the show last week. I've said it for weeks, for months. Be careful. You're going to lose him. And now it comes out that he did tell before the trades went down with between the Bulls and the Timberwolves and the Clippers and the Rockets and the Pacers and the Thunder, that he let the front office, ownership, management know that he was interested he wanted to be traded. They took it as a posturing. Okay, we're going to take care of you. Don't worry about it. Just sit tight. All these trades go down. They get nobody. And now what? He comes out. Listen, I want out. I told you this already. I gave you an opportunity to get me out, to get Melo or to get whoever the hell you wanted, and you didn't relish in the opportunity. They didn't give him the respect and the time, the effort, or the energy that he should have gotten. And now what? So then he comes out publicly with it. It gets leaked. He doesn't deny it. Oh, LeBron's, he's upset. He's disappointed because he's caught off guard. Karma's a bitch, Bron. It came back around, didn't it? He didn't know you were coming, and you didn't know he was leaving. How about that? All right, let me bring on a guy that's been close with the Cavs organization. He is the official banner waver. He's the guy that runs across the court with the giant flag. But more so, he's known for being a contributor for TMZ Sports and a writer for RealSports 101, Mr. Rob Parks. How you doing tonight, Rob?
Hey, what's up, man? I'm good, man. This news with Kyrie is it's been a mess the last few days, man, to say the least. But and I got my own views on it, man. I can probably go on and on. So whatever you want to talk about, we can rock out.
Because I talked a little bit about it last week, and we've been kind of you kind of know some of my views from my responses on social media, on Twitter and Facebook. But what are you kind of decompacting this? Because what Stephen A. Smith said, let's take away the part where his crew was like, if Kyrie was in front of him, he'd be tempted to beat his ass. Okay, cool. He was pissed off. I get what that means. I know other media people are idiots. Oh, he really wants to fight him. No, he's just upset. That's it. He's upset. Translate to nerdy white language. He's very upset. There, I've translated it for you. He's not trying to literally hunt him to physically assault him. He's just upset. But when he said that Kyrie wanted,
are you trying to understand? Are you trying to understand why LeBron is upset? Like,
no. He's legitimately upset because Kyrie is part of the reason why he wanted to come to Cleveland. He had someone there, right?
Yeah.
He's way better than Mario. He's way better than that. And he's younger than Wade. There's more future there. There's miles on that vehicle. He traded up. He wanted to go into the situation. He could be a hero for going home. He could trade up and get Kyrie. They see that they were in a situation, and his people and front office brokered a way to make it happen. And he feels like, and from LeBron's end, he's like, I put in all this work and effort to try to use my influence to put a team together, which included you. And now when we feel like we're postured to maybe be in a position where we have a real chance, and again, that's debatable, to beat the Warriors or win another title, you want to bounce? Like, why do you want to leave? And then on top of that, you say that's because of me being a diva or not wanting to play with me, not wanting to deal with me. That's the other reason. And LeBron said, hey, listen, and this is in the past, not in this situation, but he says, yeah, I'm hard on Kyrie, but it's because he can take it. Well, maybe Kyrie just doesn't want to take it. If we put all the puzzle pieces together, Kyrie is sick and tired of dealing with the Cavs front office and the dysfunction of continually, from one foster family to another, He just wants a real family. That's all. You don't have to be a perfect parent to have a foster child. That's what he's saying, right? Is it not like the foster child commercial? He just wants consistency.
I mean, man, this whole situation just goes deep, and it's even deeper than Kyrie, man. Like you said, I mean, I'm a big LeBron fan. I mean, me and LeBron are the same age. I already told you guys. I think I told you this before, Matt. Me and LeBron are the same age. I've known of LeBron, and I've known LeBron since we were like 12. He's always been the star of every team he's been on since AAU, middle school, high school. Everything was always like LeBron's way. Everything was always catered to LeBron. But LeBron earned his spot, and which I never thought would happen. I'm gonna be honest. Like when I was in high school, I didn't think LeBron would turn out to be what he is today. I'll be honest. I mean, because the way he was hyped up, we were in high school as young. We're all in Northeast Ohio living, and we're seeing this like him on the cover of Plain Dealer in 10th grade. We were in 10th grade, and the whole sports section was LeBron. Then in 11th grade, it gets worse. Sports Illustrated, and then everything else that followed getting picked up by the Cavs, #1 pick. I mean, his whole career. I mean, you can go down the line. I'm not even going to go through his whole career too much. But anyway, like, he went to Miami, you know what I'm saying? He played that hand, went away, got 2 rings down there. And then, like you said, he traded up for a newer model, like a newer vehicle, which is Kyrie. Wade breaking down. I mean, Wade was breaking down
before.
From the second year when he was in Miami. Wade was breaking down before LeBron got to Miami. So, by the second year LeBron was in Miami, Wade was struggling. You know what I'm saying? LeBron was just so damn good that he carried him to a ring. He carried him to 2 rings. But if you look back at those finals, like Dwayne Wade was very sometimey. I was very critical of Wade back then. I'm like, this dude's always hurt. Like, this dude's always like struggling, man. Chris Bosh too. So I mean, LeBron saw that and he said, I'm like, man, okay, don't think LeBron can't leave. Because people didn't think LeBron would leave Miami, if you remember.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why would you go back to anywhere? Why would you go back to Cleveland or go anywhere else?
We could go back to Winehurst's interview that was saying that Kyrie was immature, Deion Waiters was immature, and no matter what people want to think, Miami's going to find a way to keep LeBron there, and LeBron's going to find a reason to stay there. He's not coming back anytime soon. And he came back.
Who said that, Brian?
Yeah.
Who said that, Brian?
Yeah.
Brian Windhurst?
Yeah.
Yeah, because LeBron, I mean, if you remember correctly, Brian followed LeBron to Miami and was working with ESPN covering the Heat. Remember when they had that Heat Index section? And, I don't know if that section to covering LeBron and the Heat. They got that gig. And then LeBron goes back to high school. Brian used to write for Akron Beacon Journal, which is Akron's newspaper. So Brian and LeBron, now although I wouldn't say they're friends, but like they have some sort of relationship. Like Brian wrote a book, and then Brian and Dave McMenamin just wrote the book Return of the King, which just came out a few months ago. So Brian's been right there, and Brian can credit his career
Yeah.
This guy's on SportsCenter every day. He credited his career to LeBron. He might as well, you know what I'm saying, give him part of his check because if it wasn't for LeBron, Brian wouldn't be where he is. And I do remember Brian saying that, like, LeBron has no reason to ever leave Miami. Yeah, Kyrie's immature, Wade is immature.
Yeah.
I mean, they were immature. That's not a lie. But LeBron saw, LeBron wanted to go back home anyway, be down. And then so I got a young team. When LeBron got back to Cleveland, he didn't even think the Cavs were like, the Cavs overachieved the first year. Come on now, man. Nobody thought the Cavs make finals this first year back.
No, they didn't. I didn't.
This thing's going to take time. This thing's going to take time. Don't expect for the moon and the stars the first couple years. This thing's going to take time. We're a young team.
It may take 1 year. It may take 3 years. It may take no.
Yeah. Now, it's been 3 years, and the 3 finals appearances and 1 ring. Very easily could have been 2 rings, if you remember. LeBron almost beat Golden State by himself first year without Kyrie. Kyrie got hurt after game 1. Those games that Golden State won, those games were going back and forth. And so I think a couple of them went to overtime. You know what I'm saying? So, that could have went either way. Now, if LeBron wins that first ring without Kyrie, we got a whole other narrative going on right now. But, he didn't. And then Kyrie, hit the shot last year. And it's crazy because Kyrie wanted to get traded last year. This is what people don't know. Kyrie wanted to get traded after they won a championship last year. That's how you know there's a problem.
This is,
you know what I'm saying?
Like I said, it's recycled news. People are getting all hyped up. That's my new term, recycled news. It's not new. It's recycled. We've seen this before.
The thing. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
The year before, 2013-14, he wanted to be traded. He went ahead and signed his second contract because they all basically do. LeBron comes back, right. Things start to look better. Then LeBron comes back, and that's the thing is like people don't get that. If you just imagine yourself in a situation like you and your wife, you're not married. But for those of you that get married to the woman your dreams, that's your dreams, right? But we'll go to Disney for a second. You got your princess, you move into your castle, and now all of a sudden, her reality star sister moves in with you with a camera crew. Like, shit. That's basically what happened. And he didn't plan on that shit to happen. He was going to live happily ever after and build the kingdom, new flowers up front. He was going to have a new whip in the drive. And this bitch is just in his house all the time with these cameras, new people, different. His people, he's taking furniture out of the reality sister-in-law is taking his furniture out and upgrading to other shit. Like, he's like, that's my shit. Why you take my love? That's my love seat. Play it. What you doing? Where are you going with it?
You know what the crazy part is? The crazy part is I'm from Cleveland, so I'm there. Like, I'm at the games, covering the games. The Kyrie is like, it's like, fuck. I'm saying, this was my team for 3 years, even though we sucked. You know what I'm saying? I decided to come back because I'm thinking it's gonna be my team. Then LeBron comes back. Now this is no longer my team at all.
Yeah.
This is LeBron's team. This is LeBron's city. Whose damn billboard is on the wall right by the shoe outside? That big ass billboard, Nike billboard. LeBron. You know what I'm saying? Kyrie had to make that drive down Ontario every day to come pull in the parking garage at the Q. He got to see that LeBron billboard. I know that's got to be a little bit weird for him, man. You know what I'm saying? Even seeing that.
And on top of that,
even when I pull up at the Q, you know what I'm saying? I'm not even on the Cavs, but I'm looking at that like, God damn, this is the picture of a fucking man, like bigger than life, like on the damn building wall. Like, you can't miss it. It's crazy, man.
And he Debo'd my spotlight.
Yeah, I mean, this is that guy. That's that guy city, man.
Yeah.
There's nothing Kyrie could do about it.
Exactly. There's nothing. And that's why when he wants to trade, again, last year, and again, you highlighted from last year after a title, he said he wanted to trade. He says it again this year before all these trades go down. It's like, basically, I want to be traded. You want these guys? Use me as a tool to get me somewhere else. I have a list, but he doesn't have no trade clause. He really doesn't have any say in where the hell he goes. They can just send him. They could send him to Russia if they wanted to, I guess. China, play for the Chinese team that Yao Ming owns. I don't know. They could send him anywhere.
And you know what the kicker of all this is, Matt?
What's
know
that?
where Kyrie will be playing next year? Kyrie will be playing for the Cleveland Cavaliers next year.
Probably.
This is the whole kicker. Like, this is not the first. People think this is the first time Kyrie's done this. This is the fourth time Kyrie's done this.
And it again. Now a lot of people are trying to say it's immaturity. Maybe at 21 it was more immaturity, not dealing with people well.
He's still immature.
You still think it's immaturity?
Matt, Kyrie is still immature, man.
You don't think
Kyrie very immature.
You don't think it has anything to do with? Listen, I don't see an opportunity here for it to be again. Because that's the funny thing is when LeBron made it feel like I'm not leaving. He's like, yeah, I want to be traded. If he's not leaving, I want to go.
That has nothing to do with it, man. That has nothing to do with it. The whole thing is, and honestly, man, like at this point, I don't even know if LeBron's gonna leave. Like I don't know. I've been going like back and forth, but I've just been thinking about all the factors. I doubt LeBron ever leaves. He'll probably retire at the time.
I don't think that's
because
it's not surprising.
It just doesn't make basketball sense for him to go to the Lakers.
Oh, it makes league basketball business sense, but it doesn't make sense for his career.
LeBron,
It doesn't.
That Golden State is not going nowhere. LeBron is not trying to play Golden State 4 times a year, and he's not trying to play them in the playoffs.
And why go to the West? Why go to the West?
Exactly.
Have to deal with the Thunder, have to deal with the Spurs, have to deal with Utah. And Utah, people thought Utah was dead like 5 times. Somehow they sneak into the playoffs. They overperformed this year. You cannot sell the Jazz off. They're like, we won a green jacket. We're going to the tournament, okay? That's what it says. If I win the green jacket, I get to come back again. God damn it. In the most Mormon sort of way, they say it. I don't know how you'd say, God damn it, in Mormon, but it's probably something like that. Gosh darn it. Or I don't know. What would Ned Flanders say? I think he's Mormon, right? I don't know.
Right. I don't know. I just don't see him leaving, man. I don't see LeBron leaving. Kyrie, only one I can see him leaving is if like the Cavs got like Melo or something for sure.
Well, Derrick Rose has been officially signed, which is good because it's an upgrade from Darren Williams. I can't say how much of an upgrade, but he's an upgrade nonetheless. Green, I think, will be a good part of the depth. I'm out. I don't know what else to say. That's basically their whole moves this offseason. Do you think
basically
on a scale of 1 to 10, what level of on a scale of 1 to 10, how much does boil on LeBron's ass grow when they're this stagnant in the offseason?
I mean, he gets pissed off. There's only so much you can do. I mean, Paul George was almost a Cavalier, really like it's just close, man. And Kevin Pritchard, I don't know if you heard the story, but Kevin Pritchard stopped the trade like right when it was about to happen. Indiana GM.
Because he wanted another trade.
Because he didn't want LeBron.
He wanted.
He didn't want Paul to go to the East. And he didn't want to help his. He didn't want to help a team in his division because they're both in the Central.
Yeah,
but everybody already agreed to the trade. Like Love would have been gone, and Paul George would be a Cavs. So I mean, that got messed up. Jimmy Butler got messed up. But David Griffin got let go. So LeBron was probably pissed. So now LeBron endorsed Derrick Rose yesterday.
Let me ask you this.
So I mean, I don't know.
I mean, not to say you were tight with Griff, but obviously you knew him better than a lot of people that utter his name. What was your take of him and the kind of the effect that he had around there? You think it was positive?
Who was that?
David Griffin.
Oh yeah, David Griffin had a lot of respect around there. That's why I just don't understand. There's Dan Gilbert, man. Dan Gilbert. I've met Dan Gilbert 3 times in person. I've talked to him in person, like face to face. This guy, Dan Gilbert, man, is a piece of work. You know what I'm saying? So I can see why him and David Griffin, just didn't see eye to eye. But that's the reason why David Griffin's not there.
Now, I was talking to somebody.
And you know who's about to trade? You know who's about to trade Kyrie to the Suns? Guess who's about to trade him to the Suns? David Griffin.
Yeah. For Bledsoe?
Because he knew Kyrie wasn't. I don't know who it was for. I don't have that information, but Kyrie was about to get traded, and Dan Gilbert said, "Hell no." And that was one argument, but David Griffin wanted more control than just a GM. You know what I'm saying? David Griffin, he eventually wants like a president of the basketball operations role. That's why he turned Nick's job down. Because the Knicks didn't want to give him that power.
Yeah,
that's what David Griffin's looking for.
He was offered a job with the Magic for a lot of money as the GM, and he turned it down to go to the Cavs. I was told it wasn't too far south. It was somewhere between 20-25 million to go with the Magic because they got to throw money at people because outside of the mouse and some roller coasters, they don't even have the big fish anymore. The Blackfish movie screwed that up. People are scared of the whales now, I guess. I don't know. But outside of that, they have to throw money at people to get them to go there. And I have a whole theory on how the Magic can suck and still get people to show up. But that'll be for some other time. Actually, I did a video cast, the Drive the Lane video cast, a couple weeks ago. Maybe it was last week. I don't know. Shit all just kind of merges together these days. It's a hell of getting old. Like you're over 30 and you're like, was that last week? Or was it this week? I don't know. Anyways, moving on. He had that opportunity. They ended up hiring three guys to fill the president and GM front office position for $30 million. So essentially just about what they would have paid Griff to be there. He went for 3 years in Cleveland, three finals. He got a title, and then got the shaft because again, he got undercut, and then Billups come in and he gets undercut, and then basically, if the three guys before you get lowballed and they're like, no, I'm worth more than that, and then you take the money. Isn't that kind of like, yeah, he would have taken any job at this point, it seemed like? I don't know. Because it almost seems like.
Who's the common Matt, sorry to cut you off. Who's the common denominator in this whole thing? Who's the problem? Dan Gilbert.
Dan Gilbert, exactly. And that's what I was just about to ask.
Dan Gilbert.
How far
is the problem?
How far is the situation, this function in Cleveland, from being where the level that the Knicks are?
LeBron is gone.
That's all it would take.
Yes. Man, I was around the organization when LeBron left. I was at the game when LeBron first came back for the Heat. December 2nd, 2010. I've never seen nothing like that in my life, man. I've never been to no sporting event like that. I've never been to nothing like that in my life, man. It was so crazy just leading up to that game.
You should have came down here for the national championship game, player. It was in my city. It was in Tampa.
The Cavs need to realize, do you guys really want to go through this again? When LeBron is gone,
see, that's the thing is,
he comes back with another team that destroys you again.
He got Dan Gilbert. Danny got some 5-10-year contracts of money coming in because of LeBron, and there's probably not a back out clause in it because they don't think he's leaving. So he's thinking like money's coming in no matter what, if he's here or not. I make money off mortgages.
But, I mean,
whatever.
LeBron, man, see, here's LeBron got himself set up so sweet with his financials that it don't matter. Because you're kind of right. It doesn't matter if he leaves Cleveland or not. Like, he's gonna still be in Northeast Ohio whenever he wants. He got his house there. It's like when he was in Miami, he was always in Akron at his house. He was always around. I seen a guy playing the church league one summer. He came through the church league 2011 summer after the first. I seen him. It's a small gym. LeBron came through a hoop. I got footage. So he's still around. He'll still be around, but do the Cavs and Cleveland really want to go through this again? This is what they need to think about. Do you really want to have businesses closed because LeBron's gone and the team shuts down? Do you really want to be the worst team in the NBA? Or do you want to just make him happy and just ride this thing out?
Now, do you think that?
We're going to the finals every year.
Well, if he leaves, you don't think that now that Cleveland Indians have gotten better, and now there seems to be a hope, at least on paper, for the Browns to kind of become a mediocre team instead of a terrible team to bring Cleveland up? It's not possible. No.
What are you saying about the Cavs? Can the Cavs be good?
I mean, no, I'm saying regardless if the Cavs are good or not, can Cleveland survive? Can those businesses survive with the other two sports franchises doing well? No?
It's not the same. What team runs Cleveland, man? Matt, what team runs Cleveland?
Whichever one sells the cheapest beer, I hear.
Hey, beer is pretty cheap in Cleveland, man.
It is. It is.
Except at the Cavs game. It kind of charge a lot at the Cavs game. But the little bars around.
$15 tall boy.
Paninis, Winkin' Lizard. You know what I'm saying? Cheap drinks, man. You get loaded for cheap.
So again, I'm from Nebraska, Lincoln. It's a college town. And we have a street, O Street, which is the longest street. I think you said you've been there before. You were in Omaha. But in Lincoln, we have O Street, which is
I've been to Lincoln.
Yeah, okay. So basically you get in everywhere free. There's like two places on O Street that charge you to get in. But those two, like Main Street, a friend of mine actually runs it. You pay like $2 to get in, $5, something like that, to get in. And then you'll get like a 32-ounce Red Bull and vodka for $3. Like, it doesn't even make sense. First of all, I'm pretty sure you shouldn't consume 32 ounces of Red Bull or vodka, let alone them together. But it's a thing. You can get that for $3. $1, you call it.
Right.
Wells. Shots are 50 cents. Like, it's crazy. You know, I went
shots are what?
50 cents. I'm not kidding. This is a real thing. I went in. There's a bar on the corner, just not too far from there. My friend that actually manages Main Street used to manage that one. So I went there, and I bought drinks. There was 3 of us. I bought 3 Bud Lights, 3 Sex on the Beach, and then we had 3 shots or something. And it was like $20 before his discount, and then it ended up being like $12 or something like that. So I'm like, really? In Tampa, I paid $12 just for whiskey on the rocks. That's it.
Uh-huh.
And then I nursed that son of a bitch all night long. And, but, there you can like top shelf ball out and you're like, cool. So are we going again tomorrow then? And the next night? So it's like affordable to do that. You see, this is how binge drinking happens. When it's obviously they're making a lot of money off of it, but not as much money as they're making off in Tampa, but still you still make so much money off of it. People are willing to pay $1.50 for a shot. They paid. We paid.
Yeah.
Was it a shot of Fireball was $10 for a shot. A Fireball, which before Pitbull was
the next time you're going out there for a game, man?
Out where? Nebraska.
Nebraska.
I will be there for the Arkansas State Nebraska game, the season opener. My kids are actually. We're going to have their birthday party.
I might meet you out there, man.
All right.
What day is that?
It's the 2nd of September. September 2nd.
September 2nd.
Yep.
Yeah. So did I ever tell you about the story when I went to Nebraska, the university?
No.
Did I ever tell you this story? So I go there, right? Because I was on an IT project out in Omaha, and then I was in North Platte. So we had to drive from Omaha to North Platte, Nebraska. So we had to pass Lincoln on the way through. So we stopped in Lincoln, and I'm like, shit, like, I'm about to just walk inside this building. Like, it was like the football building where all the shrine stuff is, you know what I'm talking about?
Memorial Stadium. That's the front of Memorial Stadium. Yep.
Yeah. So Memorial Stadium, all the jerseys and stuff are in there, Nama Sue, all that. So I have footage of all that stuff. Like, I'm in there. So I asked the guy, I'm like, well, shit, since I'm here, why not? I'm like, can I walk on the field? This fool says yes.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I walk on the field.
That's part of the tour.
Memorial Stadium, like, nobody. It wasn't even a tour though, Matt. It was nothing going on. He just let me go out there and just like videotape everything. I have to find it, but it's on my Instagram somewhere. But it was like 2 years ago. But it was crazy. I'm like, damn, this stadium is like dope. Like, it's a history. I'm saying respect.
Well, I think, and a lot of that stuff has changed around. But I took my cousin up there one year. They came in town for a Nebraska game. They stayed at my parents' house, and my little cousin, he was actually the ring bearer at my wedding. He was probably 7 or 8 at the time, and I took him up there, and it was on a Friday. I took him up there. I just walked in, gate 6. I worked up to the university for a small period of time in high school, doing dishes in Memorial Stadium. Underneath there's a training table by gate 6 that just like a block down from where you went in to see all the jerseys. Well, actually the jerseys are on the other side. The trophies are in the front door. But right there, I took him down there. I walked him through there. He's seen a whole bunch. You got to see a whole bunch of players eating, because obviously that's exciting for some people. I see people eating. He sees
Right.
more than that. We walked through there, and it used to be at that point, it would take you straight to where the locker rooms are. Now, if you didn't see the locker rooms, you missed out. But you can go ahead and go on YouTube and put in University of Nebraska locker room. I'll guarantee you could put like 5 NFL teams together of their best swag, and they won't even touch it. Like, people don't get it. Like, they go all out. The money goes like, and Ndamukong Suh, he put in like $1.5 million donation to upgrade a weight room. Again, this is the college that invented strength and conditioning training, by the way. But still, it's tremendous. So that what you see, that whole wing where you walk by the jerseys, and on the other side of the jersey wall was, the weight room and stuff. He basically paid for all that to be built. And probably part of the tanks to Ndamukong Suh. It's a $1.5 million donation. Yeah.
Is Ndamukong Suh paid for all that?
Yeah, that was part of the $1.5 million donation he gave to the university. One of his large donations. And it's still one of the largest donations they've gotten.
I was in there.
That water tank, I was
in that weight room. That's crazy.
There's like a rehab area of water tanks for the training staff. Well, Nebraska is really big on physics and engineering and stuff like that. They actually came up with the design for like IndyCar, where the wall it takes the stress away from the car, so it's not just hitting concrete. So they created like the padding that would allow a car to strike the wall, not move the wall, and be less damaging on the driver. But that was one of the things too. But so when the Beijing Olympics was happening, when they got the vote for it, they came over to the University of Nebraska to study what the training department did there. And they basically remade exactly almost to the specs that the University of Nebraska had in Beijing for the athletes of the Olympics. So Nebraska's done a lot of things, but because it's in Nebraska, it goes under the radar. Jell-O is one of those things too. It's a Nebraska thing. We invented Jell-O. People didn't know that. We have a phone museum, which is in the movie Yes. I didn't know that. I still don't know where it's at. So if you come, we will go find the phone museum together. I don't know where that shit is. I'll have to call Jim Carrey and ask him, where the hell is that at? I have no idea I've had a lot of people, where's the phone museum? I don't know. In Lincoln, I guess. I lived there for 20-some years. I've never seen it. We go on field trips all over the place. Never to the phone museum. Don't know where that's at. But I took him through there, up into the locker room, and, he was just psyched out. So psyched out about it. But I went up there, and when was I up there last? I was up there in April, and I went back through, and I went with a tour this time. I did go through a little bit on my own, but back more in the administrative offices, say hi to a few people, and then I went with the rest of the tour people. But yeah, they'll take you out on the field. It's cool as shit. I mean, imagine being somewhere where you have over 100,000 people in that place watching you play a sport, play a game.
Right.
It's crazy. So it's
right.
There's really nothing like the electricity of the Sea of Red. And then they give them one little small corner for the visitors. So it can be a very intimidating place to play. Yeah. If you make it out there, gotta let me know. We'll I'm working on getting the credentials for that game. It'll be
yeah.
I can put those in here pretty soon.
I gotta see because I want to get up to Columbus too, man. Go to Ohio State, that's my squad. So
I've never been up there. I've never even been to Ohio.
Oh my God, dude. Well, Ohio State, man. There's nothing like that, man. That's 100,000 plus. It's crazy. I mean, it's just a whole event, man. Even outside the game, man, it's just nothing like Columbus, man. Nothing like Columbus. I heard Ann Arbor is moving to a Michigan, but I've never been to a game in Ann Arbor. But Columbus, man, ain't nothing like it. And Ohio State got like the biggest fan base in the country. So
yeah. Have you been to the Swamp?
All over the place. Florida. No, I've been past the stadium. I haven't been there for.
I'm gonna go for the first time this year.
I gotta start hitting some games up, man. But Florida ain't really doing too high, right?
Well, they're in the East. They can afford to be mediocre in the East.
Mm-hmm.
You can be mediocre. That's why his job is safe. You know.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try that out this year. If I can get up to Tallahassee to see a game, I can. I went to a few games last year for the Bulls in Tampa. Again, Willie Taggart's last year. Again, nobody knew that, but it was crazy. I remember I went to the Navy game. Like they were up like 28-0 in the first quarter on Navy. And if Navy had an extra 30 seconds or minute on the clock, they might have won. It ended up being like 56-47 or something like that. Ended up winning by like a touchdown. It was crazy. And I was just because we left because I took my son. He's 4, you know, he can't sit through a whole football game. Halftime, you know, I'm trying to get him to do cartwheels in by the seats and not on the stairs. So it's, you know, it's a whole different level. You know, if anybody out there is listening is questioning having kids, wait, just wait, because just wait, right? I love my kids. Yeah. I'm happy. You know, but being married and being a parent are two of the hardest things on the face of the planet. And not everybody needs that, nor should they do that. You know, I don't know. I don't know if it's more so women than men, but they feel like they have to get married or they haven't fulfilled something in life. It's not the truth. You know, you don't have to be married anymore to have kids, even with your same genetics. They have surrogates. You can adopt.
Yeah, I ain't gonna speak on that right now.
I'm just saying.
But yeah,
I'm just saying,
you, bro. I feel you, bro.
You don't even have to. You can, but you don't have to. You know.
No. It's 2017, man. I'm saying.
Just saying. They're about to make a mammoth. There's going to be an Indian elephant that gives birth to a woolly mammoth in the next couple of years. Not even kidding. They want to repopulate the planet with mammoths. And there's science behind it that supposed to be very beneficial. So, but I'm just saying, life is getting to the point where if you think it's ascertainable, fucking reach for it then. You know? Might as well. Because if not, you're just going to wonder. So I have to ask. So how did the 3-city tour go? The 3-city birthday tour.
You said how was it?
Yeah, how did the tour go?
Oh man, I just went to DC, bro. Like I was up in Wisconsin, man, at Mayo Clinic. I had to get the hell up out of here, man. I had to get up out of Wisconsin. I mean, I grinded out this 2 weeks up here. I got on my project and all stuff. So I was in DC, man. Chilling with my girl. You know what I'm saying? Cool.
So Whitehead didn't go to your party. He didn't have anything to do with that, right?
I'm out here in New Jersey. You said what?
So Whitehead had nothing to do with your birthday party? Why he got kicked off the?
Whitehead.
Is that why he's no longer employed? He had nothing to do with your birthday party.
They said I wasn't Whitehead though. Did Dallas release him?
Yeah. They released him.
They have to find him back now.
And no, they're not going to. Somebody's going to somebody here in the next couple of days will pick him up off waivers. I'll probably log into my NFL media login tomorrow, and somebody might have claimed him by then. So they're sticking with it. They're like, well, I guess he didn't do it. And I don't know. It's tough for me to look at Dallas and say, So you're taking a moral stance on someone now? When did that start? Like, I don't know. That's what kind of makes me think is maybe he really wasn't performing or he didn't fit, you know? But like, okay, so he did something morally reprehensible, and now all of a sudden that you're not with that? Since when? I mean, Ezekiel Elliott, he had, what was it, two domestic violence situations that weren't even reported at Ohio State. Then the latest one, which was dropped. And then the incident messing with the girl on the parade, St. Patrick's Day. It's just like, but it's cool, you know. That's not.
Yeah.
Oh, because he wasn't actually convicted. Whitehead wasn't either. And evidently, he had plane tickets that said that he was nowhere near the mistaken identity situation, and he's no longer under investigation. Oh, it's like, oops, we'll just stick with it. But somebody's gonna probably pick him up off waivers here in the next couple of days. So you got
sports is crazy, man.
You got another podcast this week?
Shoot me. Bro, I always got something going on, man. I'm gonna be going on with O'Shea Jackson tomorrow, and I think that's it for the week.
You don't got TMZ this week?
No, man, I ain't been on TMZ in a minute, man.
Has it been?
They won't let me back on the. They won't let me back on the show, man.
You know why that is, right?
No. They won't let me back on the show for some bullshit though, like because I leaked this story, but I told like the top higher up to TMZ that I'm on there every 2 weeks, and the people that were like casting me to be on TMZ Live, like they're only supposed to have guests on, like that are not celebrities once a month, but they were bringing me on, like they were bringing me on like every damn week.
Yeah.
Because I knew what I was doing, so I guess I wasn't supposed to tell, but I didn't know. So they were like, "Oh, we can't have you on the show no more," because whoever was doing that was like not following their job. I don't know what's going on. Whatever, man.
And the producer was like, "Hey, Rob will keep coming on. He's fine. He does a good job. Let's just keep riding with it."
Bring me on when I get bigger, man. They can bring me on when I get bigger, man. As a celebrity guest.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Give me my 5 minutes of time. I care less.
So when you move out to LA to be on TMZ Live there, are you going to stand or will you be in an office chair?
I'll be in the office chair on the desk with Harvey.
Post it.
Harvey going back and forth. Shout out to Harvey Leather, man. I used to make him laugh when I was on there. So I think that's how I remember you. I was always telling jokes. Yeah, but shout out to TMZ, man. I did that for like 2.5 years, man. So,
hey, as long as
course, but who knows? I could be on there again.
As long as it's as globe or flat box, I don't know, depends who you ask. Keep spinning. You'll probably be back on there.
Yeah.
It's not about can they find somebody to do the job. It's can they find somebody to do the job well. And that's the thing that's why people continually come back to the same job is because they can't find anybody better or that's as good as a fit,
Right.
That is why experience is more important than talent. It is in a lot of situations. So
bingo. You got another ins and outs of what you're doing, man. That's how you get great.
Exactly. Just
the game is simple, everybody.
You just got to keep
hustling. You got to find your niche out here, man.
Exactly. So, all right. Where can Where can they find you on social media?
And I'm all over the place. Rob Parks Jr. Facebook. R Parks Jr. 85 Twitter. That's RPARKSJR85. RPARKSJR85 on Twitter. Instagram RPARKS85. R Parks 85 Instagram. Snapchat. Well, yeah, y'all don't hit me on Snapchat, man. That's how I know you. I don't want to get no random Snapchat. But yeah, I'm on Snapchat, man. I'm on everything, man. So,
I feel like I road tripped with you this weekend. Yeah, this week. I feel like
y'all going to see me in DC, man. I had the good crawfish, man. That crawfish is straight, man. But you know what, man? Matt, DC is not known for crawfish, man. Crawfish is in the South.
Yeah.
Shout out to Houston. And I've never been in New Orleans before, but I think I'm gonna go before the year is out because they got the best crawfish right here in Louisiana. So,
what about? Have you ever been to Mobile?
Probably my birthday.
Have you been to Mobile?
Never been.
Well, I'm not an Alabama guy, but I've been there. Mobile is actually where the Mardi Gras started. That's where it kicked off. Everywhere else was called Carnival, but Mardi Gras kicked off there. New Orleans just did it better. You know, that's it. That's the whole story behind that. But the Hank Aaron has a museum and a ballpark in Mobile. So I mean, and the food's good there too. You want some good crawfish, Mobile. You also can. There's a military ship you can take a tour of there if you like military history or stuff like that. I mean, who doesn't want to go on a ship once? You know, why not?
Mobile, huh?
Yeah.
Man, the South is just where it's at for real, man. The South is the best.
Well, I don't know if it's the best, but it's really
Miami,
good. It doesn't.
You know, Miami. I wouldn't even consider Miami the South. Like Miami's like.
Listen,
Miami's pretty much like its own island.
It's
in America.
It is an extension
Miami's
of
not
Latin
South.
America. Listen, I've been to Venezuela 5 times. I've been to Mexico 3 times. I've been to Dominican Republic. I lived in Puerto Rico for a year. I'm telling you, Miami is Latin America in the U.S.
Yeah, Miami's basically Caribbean.
Yeah, it is. Every field to it.
I don't consider Miami the South at all. I consider the South Georgia, you know, North Carolina.
Well, the South doesn't even consider Florida the South. Florida seceded from the Union. They were like, why? You don't need to. You're good. I mean, it's swamps and gators and stuff. I mean, there's nothing there. I mean, Florida was like settled at the beginning of the 1900s. It's like people don't even realize, like, literally like 1902 and 1903 is when the railroads came here. That's when the, you know, Henry Flagler and Henry Plant went down each coast building railroads and then got in an arms race over the railroad system. Like that is really essentially when Florida was settled. Before that, there was actually more Cubans that lived in Florida than what, you know, colonial Americans. Literally. It was Native Americans and Cubans that left Cuba to then turn around to go back to fight the French.
Yeah, wasn't Florida owned by like Spanish before?
Yeah. Well, it kind of moved between Spain and France and the US, and you know, it's kind of moved around. But if you go to St. Augustine, Florida, and go to the castle, it's all there. They tell you all about it. And then if you want to see the sisters of those capitals, you got to go to Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, San Juan, Puerto Rico, and then there's one, I think it's in Havana, Cuba. Those are where the castles are. And the crazy thing is,
I want to go to Dominican soon, man.
Puerto Rico wasn't even like considered like the main island. Ponce de Leon had Puerto Rico as basically like a storage unit for lumber and brick and stuff that he would trade throughout the Caribbean. He just was like, I'll keep it here. But they had a fort there because they have tradable goods, and it just kind of built up. The U.S. purchased it a long ass time ago. And yes, the U.S. owns Puerto Rico. They are a territory, a commonwealth, actually. And they have, for 3 straight elections, voted to be a state. But just this last year, I was telling somebody the other day, if Trump was smart and he wanted to have that one lasting thing that nobody could take away from him, make Puerto Rico the 51st state. Push that through. I mean, you get remembered for bad stuff, and then you created a state. Like, I don't know who wouldn't jump on board with that. It's like, if you're talking about like political give-me's, that seems like a political give-me. But I don't know. I'm not in politics. Sometimes shit just makes too much sense, and they don't really go by that. When it comes to politics, logic and reason. Anyways.
Yeah, well, shout out to Florida. I might be down there next week, maybe. I'm debating if I'm gonna go to LA, and so I got some business I want to handle in LA for like a week, or if I'm gonna go to Miami. So it's gonna be like a last second decision, but I'm going somewhere August 6th, so one of those two. I might be down in Miami. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I love Florida, man. So if I come to Florida, I gotta check you out, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come down to Miami.
I'll be down there
Miami, man.
mid-September. I think 19th. We're going to see.
Okay.
My wife has a baby shower to go to. I'm going because it's Miami.
Okay.
And my wife wants to go. But it's Miami.
Yeah, I'm in Miami at least a week out of every month now. So I'm in Miami. I just like being down there. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Have you
get up around the same time?
Have you been by what I call it, the crayon box? Have you been by the crayon box? Tootsie's cabinet. Have you ever been to the Tootsie's cabinet?
Tootsie's?
Yeah.
I've never been to Tootsie's. I always go to KOD though. I go to KOD. That's my spot.
I did. I went there.
Next time.
But when more guys are looking at me than girls, I gotta leave. I have to leave. Evidently, I looked appealing or easy to beat up. I don't know. I don't know. I'm a big guy. It's weird. So I left, and we went to Tootsie's. And Tootsie's, just for those listening don't know what it is a gentleman's club for the ultra gentlemen, of course. It's a strip club. That's what I mean. And it used to be a fucking Costco.
Oh, wow, man. So, listen to this, though. So a report just dropped. It says LeBron committed to Cavs, hopeful to remain in Cleveland for the rest of the career.
There we go. Breaking news.
Well, breaking news, guy. I just said that, though. I just said it. I don't know, man. I think I'll be knowing what I'm talking about. You got to understand, man. It's home, man. It's home. When you're home and everything is good, it's a different feeling, man. It's like
I'm telling you, I go back to Nebraska.
You're going to play in the city. You're going to play in a city that's not your home. Like LeBron, I love Miami, man. LeBron loves Miami. I love Miami, but that's not my home. Like, my home is Cleveland, man.
I get you. See, I go back to Nebraska for family and football, and I tried to play for Nebraska.
Yeah.
I walked on, and they said, well, you have to pay. And I was like, I don't have that. And they're like, well, go to community college. Oh, well, I'll do that.
Right.
That's what I did. So, yeah, you can't – you turn down offers to D2 because you're like, no, I'm gonna play.
Right.
Walk on. I'm gonna be one of those walk-ons. And then you can't afford it. And it's like, yeah, I'm not going to be one of those. But it was a great idea. It was fun while it lasted. And, yeah. But I get that. I like Florida, and this is where I will live, forever.
I would say that about Florida. Florida does feel like home for me. But
yeah, because I don't want to go anywhere else. Like, I don't want to go to California and live
Exactly.
there
If you're
because it's
reporter,
13.5% state tax on my income.
Right. Why leave Florida? It's hot. It's tropical. There's no state tax.
And we just said Miami was extension of Latin America. What other reasons do you need? It's probably a good thing I came to Florida married.
From Miami quickly.
You know, I couldn't. It wouldn't have been a good thing if I would have came to Florida single because something would have fell off somewhere along the line. I don't know. It was just, you know, it was like with Night of the Roxbury. What's up? What's up? Got pace yourself. Pace yourself. What's up? 1, 2, 3. What's up? 1, 2. Like I don't know. I was some would have fell off. So it's probably that was a good decision for me, I guess, to live a longer life, I guess. And
yeah, man.
Well, we're gonna have to do this again here in the near future. So
you already know, man. You already know. Just let me know.
All right, and I'll put my word for you at TMZ to get you back on. I'll just tweet them like 50 times. Where's Rob Park? Where's Rob Park?
If people watch this after it's off live, like, can they still view it?
Yeah. This? Yeah. You can take us with you wherever you are. You can go on the Spreaker app. You can go on SoundCloud, where your podcast is at, by the way. You can go on Blog Talk Radio. The link that you shared is directly to this show, this exact show.
Okay. What's the SoundCloud?
It should be under Matt Long Sports or the CHT on Sports. I forget which one it is going to. That's a good question. It's going to one of those two. Either way, if you look it up.
Well, yeah.
If they type in the cold hard truth on sports.
I'm on SoundCloud heavy, so.
Yeah,
I'm on SoundCloud heavy. That's probably the easiest way for me to listen to anybody because I listen to music in my SoundCloud every day.
Yeah,
in the car. So
I a big shout out to HBO Boxing. I listen to that podcast. I try to listen to that every week. I'm big in boxing, man. Like people, I don't know.
Yeah, you love boxing, man.
I do love boxing. I will spar you right now, Rob. I will. That's how much I love boxing. we can get in the ring. That's how much. But you're going out to Vegas for that for the McGregor Mayweather. I know you were contemplating.
I'm damn sure planning on it. Even if I'm not fighting, I'll be out there. I mean, I got family out there in Henderson, so.
I mean, that's not a bad.
I'm like,
it's not a bad drive from LA.
Here, like, I always gotta get a hotel. And she's just like, yeah. So I'm gonna head out there, even if it's just for the weekend. I'm gonna head out there and just be around the atmosphere, even if I don't go to the fight. So
I'm trying to
see Conor get that head tapped.
I'm trying to. Oh, I gotta give him a call back. I want to go out there. I'm trying to work some things around. It's just a lot of things are going on right around then for me, so it's a bit more complicated. But I have family out there too. My cousin's the head bartender at the Paris, so I always stop by.
Oh wow!
There for a little bit. It's Vegas is fun. And it does have more than just the strip, but there's so much to do on the strip. Walking, people watching. I like watching people. I just like watching people. If I'm standing there and you see me seeing you, I'm thinking something. I'm probably mocking you. So yeah, that's basically what I do. I clown on people, whether you know it or not. Just saying. It's a thing and it happens.
People watch the Central right there.
Yeah. I will.
People watch the Central, especially on the strip.
And the thing is, you can do it there with an open container. You know, that was the thing I was like psyched out about. Like, so I can just take my drink with me? Yeah. And I won't have to pour it out. Nope. I don't believe you.
Thank you.
Can I take this outside, officer?
Anything goes, man.
Sure. Go. But tell the hooker to put hers down. Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll let her know. He said put that down. I don't know. I'm not going to talk to you any more than that. He's watching. I'll move along. Moving along. All right, man. Appreciate you coming on here. We got to do this again soon. And
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
people be sure to
You, man. All day.
check Rob out, follow him, listen to the podcast, petition to get him back on TMZ.
Yeah, we got to start a petition or something.
Go change.org.
He's back on the show.
Return Rob Parks Jr. to his rightful home on TMZ.
Yeah, all right, man. I'm about to go ahead and crash. Gotta go to work in the morning.
All right, man.
But yeah, it's a pleasure, man.
All right,
brother.
Be good.
All right, peace. Yep.
Rob Parks Jr. Last couple weeks, come on here, knocks it out of the park. Spends an hour on the show last couple weeks. It's awesome. Yeah, it's but you hear, I mean, with Rob, he's somebody that's more connected. That, you know, he hears and sees these situations. Again, we've had conversations on social media, but he's not really so open with people about his relationship with LeBron and the Cavaliers. And again, he did beat writing for the Cavs. He writes for RealSports 101. And, you know, he understands the situation. He's closer to the situation than a lot of people in the media and in the sports world. So, again, he's basically echoed a lot of the same sentiments that I have said for a while now. And he thinks Kyrie is going to be right there in Cleveland next year. And then the report came out. He broke that on the show that LeBron, as of now, plans to retire in Cleveland. But, you know, if he can stay healthy and he keeps re-up these 3-year deals with second and third year player options, you know, it's going to, I mean, it'll be lucrative for him. He can, he has the option to re-up so often. That's definitely something that's beneficial for him moving forward. I mean, if you got to deal with a guy that is that's a jerk, and you can take his money, might as well try to take as much as you can. And that could very well be his angle there. So I got a few other things to get into. As you know, we've been on for 2 hours and 40 minutes. We don't do breaks around here all that often. So the one thing I wanted to get into, and again, it's something that people have kind of glossed over here. Again, I'll touch on it briefly before I get into the NFL. And it is a fight with McGregor and Mayweather. I just want to make sure clear. Fans understand. Conor McGregor had to do this fight to get that kind of money. He's confident that he can win, but you have to go in to anything you do confident you're going to win to even have a chance. So, of course, he's going to be confident. Regardless if Floyd is 40 or 47, he's going to look competitive. He stays in shape. He is the greatest defensive boxer in the history of the sport. And the style of boxing that he does allows him to take the minimal amount of punishment in areas that don't have high ramifications for getting tagged in. Mainly his gloves, his shoulder, his arm. And still be able to deliver all right. We lose that? I don't know what happened there. That was loud. All right, so for those of you who kind of hear it ring, we are...
Start your show now. Press 1 to hear more.
Since it appears you're calling back into a live show, we are reconnecting you now.
This is the magic behind radio. Reconnecting on Blog Talk. Okay, so loud. Okay. All right. It seems that we're good now. We're good. We're good. Okay, we're good. All right. There was that loud sound in my ear, and it scared the shit out of me. Anyways, it's definitely a fight you want to watch. It's definitely worth watching. I know a lot of people are saying it's going to be anticlimactic. It's not going to be interesting. It's not going to be a fight that it's going to be worth the money. Well, this is the first time in history that anything like this has happened, where two of the top, most well-known athletes in these similar sports, it'd be like the top guy in golf, the guy that can just crank 5, 8, 900 yard. I don't know if I can do a 900. Is that 900? 750, 800 yard drive shots versus a guy that can hit a baseball 500 feet. So you have these people squaring off against each other in a home run derby, right? Now, kind of like golf and baseball, it's very different. Swing. It's a swing, but down to the legs. Baseball has a kick, and your weight ends up on your back leg. And your elbows out and then comes in for torque and for power. With golf, there is no leg kick, and it's not a cut up, it's a cut down, and your weight ends up on your front leg. Your elbow stays in, and your front arm stays straight. So just the mechanics is very different. And again, that's a lot like MMA and boxing. Boxing is very technical in the sense that you can use your hands, your fists only to hit, and The punches only count above your waist, on your central trunk, your chest, your abdominal area, and the front of your face. It doesn't count in the back. Your arms don't count. The gloves don't count. So just your face and your trunk. That's it. That's all that counts. That's the only. It's like the strike zone in baseball, you know? And that's the only place that counts. Whereas golf, the whole point is to get it in the hole. So you hit it wherever you want. As long as it ends up in the hole, that's all that matters. That's how they're kind of similar but different. MMA, you have a whole toolkit. You don't even have to be able to punch anybody. But if you can grapple and chokehold, put on an armbar, use jiu-jitsu, you can beat just about everybody. You know, if you're a good wrestler, you get takedowns, you can stay on top, you know, stay on a mild offensive throughout the entire fight, win on points. So there's a lot of different things with MMA where you don't have to be somebody that can knock someone out and you still be able to have a career with different skill sets. With boxing, you either need to be able to be defensive enough to not get hit or offensive enough to hit. Because the whole goal is to hit and not get hit. You hit, you get points. You get hit, they get points. So that's the whole chess match of boxing. Is there a chess match in MMA? Absolutely. But it's coming from a lot more different angles. It's less specialized in one area. You can kick somebody in their shin, in their knee in MMA. In boxing, if you kick somebody, you very well might get disqualified. So, again, you can't, with boxing, you can rest assured you can stay in front of somebody and be able to move out of the way of their punches and hit them and not have to worry about them kicking you or tackling you or throwing you. Like, you know, at least you understand area where the general assault is supposed to come from. With MMA, you don't know. You don't know what they're going to do. They may specialize in this. I mean, when we saw Brock Lesnar win a heavyweight title in MMA with a submission. And by the way, in that fight, he was knocked out unconscious to his own admittal twice in the first round. He should have lost that fight. They let it keep going. His opponent was tired out. He took him to the ground, put him on submission hold. He won in the second round. So anyways, they're vastly different. Conor McGregor did box when he was younger. He's not a boxer, though. He's an MMA fighter. So Floyd Mayweather will win this fight. If you want to make money, I'm not a betting guy, but if you want to make money, go put money on Floyd Mayweather. I think he's like the odds are so favorable right now for bettors. I'd see this moving closer to the fight. It'll probably move up closer we get to the fight. Stuff like this usually happens. Usually it will move up a little bit when we get closer to the fight. But it's going to be interesting to watch. I I won't be paying for the fight because I have other avenues of seeing it, but I don't think anybody's a sucker that does buy the fight. Paying $100 to see something happen for the first time in history, a fight that I repeatedly think is going to be an entertaining fight. If you are a boxing fan or you're a fight fan, watch Mayweather Maidana 1, and I think this fight should be somewhat similar to that. I think McGregor will come in, he will press, even though he's a counterpuncher. In boxing, he's going to want to press, and he's going to want to try to push Floyd, cut off the ring, be a bigger guy, push him around a bit more in the ring. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see him try to be more physical with him. Again, he's probably going to end up coming in the ring about 165, like a super middleweight. So he'll probably have a good 15 pounds on him. Not even kidding. So we'll see that. But like the Maidana fight, I don't think there's going to be clean punches. There's not going to be tons of meaningful punches. There's been very few people that have rocked Floyd or caught Floyd. And I know the stuff that we're seeing him for boxing looks slow. Connor's not that slow. What we're seeing there, he's faster than that. So I think some people will be somewhat surprised by him. Some people will have the conspiracy theory to it. But the fact of the matter is, we're talking about the best boxer in a generation fighting against a guy that's not a boxer. I mean, Daniel Cormier, who fights this weekend, I will watch that fight against John Bones Jones Saturday night. I don't know what station that's on, but I will be watching that Saturday. He said, there was times where, he would be working on some of his stand-up game. He would get in the ring and spar with boxers, guys that were amateurs or only like 3 or 4 professional fights under their belt. And they were just remarkably better than him. And he really didn't stand any chance against them. So, we have to understand a guy that's not a boxer going to box against a guy that's one of the best boxers. And I think the best percentage landed on Mayweather has been like 13.5% of punches actually landing that counted. The average is somewhere north of 22 to 25% for professional boxers landing their punches. So it's not a favorable matchup, but don't let understanding or knowing the outcome of this fight deter you from watching how it unfolds. So, I'm sure there's a lot of people that have read the book and then they went and watched the movie. How about have you ever watched a movie more than once? You watched it again. You just liked the movie. What you see in the ring with boxing, with any sport, it's no different than watching a movie for a second time. You know what's going to happen. And you're entertained and you get enjoyment from the same things. Sometimes you get something new. Maybe it's the third time you've seen the comedy and now some of the lines are starting to stick and you and your friends are going back and forth saying funny lines. I think we all do that. Just don't say, I know what's going to happen. Floyd's going to win. So And let's not be surprised. I'm telling you right now, don't be surprised if it goes to 12. So if you want to take a prop bet on this going the distance, I would say that is perfectly logical in my sense. Boy, put a bet on Floyd to win and fight to go 12 rounds, Floyd to get a unanimous decision. That's what I would say. And for McGregor to win at least one round. I think he will be able to steal a round early, maybe a couple. Floyd might give him ground early to tire him and to, keep the entertainment factor up. Because whenever the opponent of Floyd gets him against the ropes, starts swinging away wildly, hitting his arms and his glove and his shoulders, people go nuts because they think that he's getting beat up. He's not taking a lot of damage that's meaningful. The other fighter is not scoring points. It's not supposed to be scoring points. Again, from the judge's seat, if what it looks like is he's landing punches, which was kind of more so in the case of the Canelo fight. Again, when I scored the Canelo fight, I can see how a judge may have scored in favor of Canelo. I went back from several times. I went back and watched it and rescored it.
Seconds.
So for McGregor to win a round or two or more than one, really, it's very possible. But I would say I would bet for Floyd to win by unanimous decision in a 12-round fight. And Conor McGregor winning one round or maybe more. That's what I would say. So I'm going to get off that topic. We are going into overtime. So on the overtime segment, if you want to join us, we are going to go over on Facebook Live. I didn't have it up. It's all good though. On the Facebook Live segment, people can't call in, but the number usually 347-237-5539 is the line there to on a weekly basis. Seconds. But those of you over, it'll work. And I'm going to reset a little bit for Facebook Live. I know we did the conversation about Kyrie and LeBron to probably not, but again, to reset just for Facebook, I talk about the NFL. So on this end, the computer end, having a little bit of difficulty trying to see what's going on here while it's kind of seized up. Maybe we'll just do it this way. Maybe we'll I'll just pull it up on here. The setup here. I clicked out of it when I was talking to Rob. So we'll get this going. And this is the overtime segment here. Doing this live on YouTube. Live. Breaker. And I'm working to get the Facebook Live going. Let's see what wants to cooperate. I think it's upset I have too many windows open. All right, maybe we won't do Facebook Live. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. We'll pick that up tomorrow, do a Facebook Live session, and call it good there on that. And these just all right. So I want to get in the NFL. First of all, we hit on a little bit earlier Lucky Whitehead, who was just recently let go by the Dallas Cowboys. Again, because he was in an alleged domestic violence situation. And evidently they feel that they have moral obligations all of a sudden that it's not acceptable to be involved in domestic violence situations. So they decided to cut him. And again, they're saying it's a football decision. They basically, from what Pro Football Talk, NBC Sports reported, is basically the Cowboys called him a liar. Again, that's he said to the Dallas Morning News, Whitehead told John Mariucci of the Dallas Morning News, let's not sugarcoat anything. I was pretty much called a liar. As far as the whole situation went down, I was blindsided. I didn't know about the warrant that came about in the first place, clearly because I wasn't the person arrested. The head person is talking about in the Cowboys organization. I told, no one backed me up. No one had my back in the whole situation. Sounds like a pretty crummy situation. I knew about it at what he says was like 12:45. By 2:30, he's like, I'm released. As far as the stuff that was preached by the Cowboys organization, he says, I was left out to dry. You see the mantras that are all around the star. I mean, by 12:45, I figured out that this is even going on. By 2:30, I was released. What's the real reason? Let me be clear. Let me clear my name. I didn't have time to do that. I was pretty much called a liar. And those are quotes of Lucky Whitehead. Former Cowboy. That he told the Dallas Morning News. Now, it's crazy to think, wow, it all just unfolded like that in a matter of 2 hours, hour and 45 minutes, basically. He learns about it, and then he's released. I don't know. That has to be a tough pill for anyone really to swallow. To sit and bear through a situation where somebody has a legal an arrest warrant saying that you committed a crime and you didn't. Yeah, it's tremendously perturbing. I mean, just think about it on a daily basis. If something happened and someone just didn't believe you, and your career is all hanging in the balance there, how would you feel? And I get the storylines and the puns, unlucky white. Better than this. We can't. Unlucky whitehead. Again, this what I read to you from NBC Sports was just 8 hours ago. Pretty fresh. So it's the situation nobody wants to be in. The good news for him is he will most likely be picked up here pretty soon. So I don't know what the deal is here. We seem to have this block on Google. Having some difficulties on those two platforms. And Spreaker, though. So I appreciate everybody over in Spreaker hanging in there. SoundCloud showing that I still have a connection over on Blog Talk. So it should be going through. So I cannot take any more calls. One, because we're in overtime, and two, because of whatever's going on here. Probably just, I don't know. Maybe the server's running slow. But it's a crummy situation. I see him getting picked up here. I think he's a good enough and talented enough guy that someone will be interested in him. So I look for him to get picked up here shortly. Now, with the Cowboys, there's a lot of headlines coming out. Is Dak knows he's the guy, and that adds some sort of benefit to the Cowboys because Dak knows he's the guy. I don't think that does any bit of good because I don't think there was much doubt that Dak was going to be the guy. A lot of people like the term fake news these days, but It's not fake news. It's just not real news. It's not real news to the extent that that anybody really needs to worry about it. Will he have Ezekiel Elliott? How many games is Ezekiel Elliott's going to miss? That's something you want to know. Zeke being gone is a huge setback for them. To be honest with you, they have a good enough offensive line that it shouldn't make too big of a difference for the Cowboys either way. So if as long as their offensive line stays healthy, that should be a situation that is favorable for the Cowboys. All right. Well, we're running into these difficulties here. We're going to show a little early tonight. Next week, we will we'll have some more news and some more clarity on what's going on in Cleveland, as well as a scope of kind of where the NBA is going into the summer. College football is even closer. The NFL is only right around the corner. We will be in the month of August. Already August. Jesus. But that's going to do it for me here tonight on the show. Thank you all so much for listening in. I know we had some technical difficulties and stuff during the show. Appreciate you all hanging with us there. And I'll have some more out. I'll do a couple video casts this week to kind of highlight the situations in the NFL content that we really didn't get to cover so much. I know one of the big things was the NFL is they're tone deaf again. And I'll explain that on a podcast this week. So definitely stay tuned in and follow the show at the CHT on Sports. You can follow me directly at Matt Long Sports. And always the shows are available on the CHTonsports.com, on the listen link in the upper left-hand corner, on Spreaker.com, as well as the Spreaker radio app, SoundCloud, always on blogtalkradio.com. Just search GoLong Media, and it'll bring us right up. You can listen to all the shows. Take This L, which is Wednesday nights, and the Boxing Source radio show, which is Tuesday nights. So that's all for me tonight. Be good, be easy, be safe. Peace.